working all the time and you ain't spending no time with me. So this other man was spending, so it's me. But she not realizing the lights on, the car got gas in it, you protected, the kids sleep good at night, you don't have to lock the doors, do all this because it's a man in the house. It's comfort, it's security, there's direction. The woman problem is no one can correct her.
Sis, if you can't be corrected, then you cannot be directed. And if you cannot be directed, then you can't be protected. We claim to be the least protected woman today in the United States. And one of the reasons I honestly think that is because we don't like to listen.
And the compromises that white women are willing to make benefit them. There's no benefit for black women to be compromising in the framework in which whatever men are bringing to the table are expecting them to compromise.
And women today, like the modern women, they want the aesthetics of what a man is, but they actually don't want a man because they don't want to be submissive. And I know that's a word thrown out there. Women get scared of that.
Explain what you mean by submissive for those I know weird.
Submissive as in respect.
If you can submit to your boss at work, why can't you submit to your man? This is my question. These are the things that don't make any sense to me, because if you trust the leadership of your boss, why are you choosing a man that you don't trust his leadership? Because the truth of the matter is that man that is your boss at work was just put into a position based on someone that chose him to be there.
Allow the money that you make. Okay, now I'm in submissive heaven. This could be nowhere near a leader, but he make a bunch of money. And so when this makes a bunch of money, we automatically, and we did this the other day. I wanted to bring it back up the other day when we started talking about black excellence, when we was talking about the puff shit. We immediately put this moniker on somebody that they are black elite and they are black excellence because they've reached a certain level of success monetarily. These don't be black excellence. They just be rich black people.
Aren't like. He go say, baby, take that off. You're not finna go outside with your on like that. Man, you got your out like that? Man, put some panties on, your pretty showing. That's a real man, established law and order.
Say you had a man and he said, hey, when you go to escape, I would like you to dress modestly. What would you say to that?
Sorry, honey, we're breaking up.
Same.
No man is ever gonna tell me what to do, how to dress, how to talk, nothing. No.
And a man has to be able to correct because his job is to establish law and order in the household. So most real men aren't liked. I'm gonna say it again. Most real men with real traits and characteristics aren't liked.
Why I can only be with men that make more money than me. Hot take. Hello, my name is Carla and restoring healthy mindset is my thing. Here's the thing, ladies. Men would choose respect and admiration over love. And if you want my respect and my admiration, you have to be making more money than me.
You have two men. One that's not financially stable but loves you. And then you have the one that is financially stable and loves you. No, but loves you.
Okay.
So obviously you're going to choose the one that has the money. I have a very traditional way of thinking. I believe the men should be the providers. I'm not here to, provide for the man or be here to, give my money there, So if the man isn't up to par, it's like, okay, you know what? Then come back to me when you have the money.
Say, y'all sit down somewhere. It ain't liked. He's missed and appreciated after he's gone. But while he's here, he ain't liked. He's tolerated. That's why they don't tell your daddy from daddy. That's why daddy get a tie. That's why daddy get kicked in and mama get everything. It's all about if mama happy. It ain't about if daddy happy.
Who benefits more in marriage, man or woman?
I think there's no benefit for a man, unfortunately, in the Western way of marriage. I think it's so sickening that, we have this agreement that women, when they divorce a man, they can just leave with a lot of his money or expect alimony for the rest of their life. And one of the things I always ask women is, are you going to have sex with him after you divorce for the rest of your life? And she's like, why would I do that? I was like, then why do you expect payment for the rest of your life?
The man's happiness don't mean nothing to nobody. The man's peace don't mean nothing to nobody. The man ain't appreciated, homie, till his presence is no longer there. That's the only way he can be appreciated.
Greetings, you polite savages, and welcome to another Tip Talk.
Let's get ready to rumble!
Ladies and gentlemen of polite savages, we are now about to embark on a mission to discuss certain things in today's society that may seem unpalatable to the average modern man and woman. However, I've always been told that a lot of times the medicine you need is not the medicine you like. You must shut up and swallow it. Sometimes these bitter pills are much more to your health than to your liking. So the only thing that we can promise is to tell you the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth as we see it. Are you ready? Let's go. Now, I had to admit, it took quite some time for me to actually start digesting some of the words that Charleston White was saying and seeing through the bluster and the Rat Williams personality that he puts up in front of actually a pretty dang good message. Whether you agree with him or not, in a lot of ways, Charleston White does echo a lot of the issues that we have in the community today, a lot of the pain the men go through. This is why he's so popular, because in a lot of ways, he's speaking for men who don't have a voice. I am from the school of understanding that just because one thing is true, another thing can also be true. You don't throw the baby out with the bathwater. You gotta chew the meat and spit out the bones, as a lot of people would say. Because a lot of times what Charleston White is saying echoes the same stories I heard my uncles tell me and my father tell me and even my grandfather tell me when I was a young man. But see, since a lot of you folks didn't have that privilege of having men in the house, strong men around you, men who were going to work every day, men who were in charge of their households, men who led the household, when you hear a man saying some of this stuff, it's really bitter to you. Because really in our community, women are demanding that men be strong all the time. They're not really looking to show you any compassion. It's get out there, get that money, take care of the bills, be a provider, and if you can't do it, homie, no matter what, better find a way. Because guess what? They look you dead in the eyes and tell you it ain't my job, it's yours.
When you meet a true provider, you don't even have to ask him to provide. He already knows. He enjoys it.
Ladies, let me tell y'all something. Have you noticed, do you see that only in the black community we have to discuss 50-50 paying the bills with these men on the earth?
Wait. Stop the timeline. Ma'am, have you noticed that when you walk into a donut shop, when you walk into a nail salon, that there are people of different races who aren't black working? Do you think that those people are not married? Ma'am, have you seen a receptionist who doesn't happen to be black? Maybe the receptionist was white, maybe she was Filipino, maybe they were even Arabic. Do you think that those women are not married? Ma'am, you're walking around thinking that 100% of the women that you see who are not black are not married and they are not contributing to the household. The most successful families in this country who live an upper middle class lifestyle both contribute to the household. But see, the issue is this, ma'am. When you're focusing on what other people are doing, people who are getting money are focusing on how to get their money pregnant and have their money have children. And if you don't understand what I said, it's because you are financially illiterate. Okay, back to our regularly scheduled program. I'm done with this Jezebel.
A lot of men don't speak about this, but a lot of men suffer in silence also. Right. When you a provider and you a real provider, but you already unhappy and you not feeling like you being celebrated in a proper manner, you feel like you only being tolerated. Like a lot of people be like, why certain men don't go home? Like when I was in the streets, I used to hate going home because I feel like it's cool, but I ain't welcome though. Cause it don't feel embracing when I go home. It's like y'all act like this is what I'm supposed to be doing. And a lot of men suffer from it and not knowing that it's okay to have your man cave. You have to go in your solitude and have your time for yourself in order for you to release. We so busy being tough and harboring all these resentment and emotions and all the shit we deal with.
Everything I seen with a kid, nigga complained and hated a black woman he had a baby by. So in my 20s, psychologically, I wanted to be able to have a loving relationship with my son. Could have no baby with no black woman because she wouldn't allow you to have a loving, full relationship with your son. Because what I start hearing between my cousins and my female friends is, this my child. You can't take my baby nowhere. So the black woman claims 100% rights and authority over the kids. So that robs a black man of his legacy. I wasn't robbed of my legacy. Most black children don't have their dad's last name.
But at first I just thought it was our community that was having these issues. But when you look around social media streets and talk to folks in real life, you actually start to realize that this is a universal issue that a lot of men are having. And this isn't a crybaby fest. Even though sometimes you have to shed a tear, this is an absolute reality check. A lot of women out there think it's very easy to be a man. It's very easy to be a provider. But indeed, it is one of the hardest things that a person can take on their shoulders. A lot of these Pookies and Ray Rays out here, they live life real good. A lot of these homosexuals going from lady to lady, busting them down, busting them out, going on about their business, when the real men are out here putting it down 9 to 5. Dirty hands, clean money. You dig?
I don't know how any of you guys are going and going and going. I know you gotta be at the same level of mental health as me.
I think a lot of times we come into this relationship, and as men, we get all of the pressure put on us to figure something out for the entire family. You know how stressful that is, bro? Right? And then we take that as like, this is a badge of honor. Like, this is what we should be doing. Like, yes, I have the pleasure of being able to take my family out of poverty. Bro, that's a hard thing to do for just one person. That's hard as hell. Like, bro, that is not, I don't want that stress on me, bro. I got enough stuff that I'm dealing with. I don't need to be the person that's bringing everybody in my family out of poverty. If I'm getting into a relationship, I want my shorty to be thinking about that as well and figuring out ways that we can both work on that. Not just me, because it puts a lot of financial stress on you as the man in a relationship. And a lot of relationships end up failing. A lot of marriages end up failing due to what? Finance.
But let me be brief. This willing cooperation should only be given to men who deserve it. But one thing that a lot of modern women, and not all, but enough modern women get caught up in is wanting a man already made. You don't want to invest in him to build the pie. You want him to do it all. Like the lady said earlier, I don't want to spend any of my money, but then you expect him to value you beyond value. And this just doesn't make sense. You see, men are logical thinkers. And what a man will do is say, hey, if you were with me from the beginning, then you could be my Savannah James. But what a lot of men are really worried about is to wind up with a Tiana Taylor. Because ladies, you got to keep it 100% honest with the gentleman. Yes, it's all about love and we don't need a prenup and I'll never leave you. But soon as you're upset, you will abscond with all of his possessions just to see him suffer. Because hell has no fury like a woman's scorn.
But guess what? Once I stopped paying 50-50 bills in the marriage, he started doing whatever he wanted to do with his money. He wasn't taking the family out. He wasn't taking me out on dates. It was no togetherness. It was just 50-50 on the bills. Anytime you see a man want to do 50-50 and not take care of the full family by himself, he has an agenda.
How do you write women so well?
I think of a man, and I take away reason and accountability.
Thank you for watching the Tip Network. Follow us on all social media outlets and ask yourself one burning question. Can you handle the tip? Boom, we're out.